Warm Pacific greetings, talo falava, malolelei whakalawala yatu nisam bolo vinaka ki orana, and welcome to another episode of the Pacific Health Talanoa Show on BLU TV with Lorenzo Kaisara. Today, the Monday, 8th of November 2021. The Pacific community have been severely impacted by COVID-19. The Pasefika Youth United is working hard to increase the full vaccination rates of our people so that we can reach 90% or higher as soon as possible. The health status of Pacific people is one of the lowest in Aotearoa, so it is critical that we protect our most vulnerable from COVID-19. This Wednesday, the PYU or Pacific Youth United is rallying together to get our young people and their families vaccinated. Joining me on Pacific Health Talanoa to talk more about the event are Matalaoa Eleanor Barlow, ia malesunga ia Bronson Seiuli. Welcome on the show, guys.
Talo falava, Lorenzo. Ia fatalo fatu de fafungana Samoa. Very happy to be here with my brother Bronson to represent Pasefika Youth United. We are a quick, newly formed group, and we heard the call, and we heard that we needed to come together to serve and unite to make our community safer against COVID-19.
Once again, thank you so much. I must acknowledge, your service and all your hard work. This is part two. It's a follow-up events from the previous one that we, did last week. But thank you so much for coming on the show to share more about this Wednesday's event. Now, can you tell us more about the Pacific Youth Drive? The Pacific Youth, the PYU, Pacific Youth United Drive and Walk-in Vaccination Event.
Yep. So the PYU or Pasefika Youth United is a group formed by the various Pasefika youth groups that we have already in the midst of running these different vaccination events. So we have Tupulanga Samoa under Samoa Stufa Tasi, our brothers and sisters from the kingdom, from the Whaheponua Tonga or Aotearoa, who have also jumped on, as well as many other ethnic youth groups that have come together to form this I guess wider or larger youth group that we're going to try and target as a wider Pasefika community. Those few tupulanga or youth members in our community who are still on the fence of getting vaccinated.
Great, awesome collective effort by all the youth groups coming together, rallying together to get not only the young ones vaccinated, but also their families as well. Now, I've been to a Fijian vaccination event, I've been to a Tongan vaccination event, and most recently, I was at the Sikopa, which is a Samoan drive-through vaccination event, and the vibes, the atmosphere. Can you share with us what's happening on a day?
Yes, so on the day we aim to actually capture the essence of what it means to be Pasefika, and that means bringing awareness to all of our diversity, all of our beautiful countries in the Pacific, so that everybody is represented. It's not just a Samoan-driven event, it's not just a Tongan event, it's a Pacific, Moana Pasefika event. And in terms of energy, we know that a lot of these successful events that have happened around vaccination have been mobilized because of the energy of the youth and the presence of the youth at these events. So that is going to be turned up to 1,000% on Wednesday. So it's definitely going to be the most vibrant, most uplifting, and a diverse vaccination event that's actually ever happened. And it's good, like Bronny said, it's going to be the first time that we are uniting. So I think everybody wants to showcase their culture as much as they can.
Thank you so much. What about in terms of incentives, Bronson? Are we giving away any food parcels or vouchers for those who will be vaccinated?
Yep. So like a lot of the events that all of us have already been organizing in the past, there will be different incentives given out at our event that's coming up this week, as well as the food parcels. Now, the thing is with the incentives, I feel like that's sort of become the main sort of draw for everyone to go and get vaccinated. And I just want to encourage, especially our youth, to know that the incentives are there, but at the same time to look at the bigger picture where getting vaccinated is actually going to safeguard it. So it's more than food parcels, it's more than a $50 voucher. It's your life, and not only that, it's you're contributing to your family and the wider community so that we can get back to a normal state of life. So yeah, there'll definitely be incentives given out on the day. You just have to wait and see what you're going to get. We're going to try and make it a little bit different this time around.
Awesome. Now, Tamaiti stated in his interview that, us having rights, it is not all about looking after each other. I mean, us individually, but it's also about looking after one another. And we do make our decisions, based on what's best for the whole community. And I love that, all the Pasefika youth, the Pasefika nations are rallying together behind this event to drive it and to make sure that our rates, will increase. Now, Matalaoa, you mentioned that this is the first event that, all the specific youth groups are coming together. So how did the events come about? How did you manage to, to bring everyone together?
Well, like many of our events that have happened, it actually was presented to us. So in terms of choosing the site and the time, it was just saying, it was presented to us being like, we have this site and we have this time. Can we all unite and make it happen? And in terms of how to mobilize the actual community, it was presented to the youth and all the collective efforts of all the Pacific nations to actually host this event, because we've been the powerhouses within a lot of these vaccination efforts. So in quoting what was said, they said, we know that the people who can make this event happen would be the youth. So it was presented to us because we knew, the organizers knew that we could actually mobilize the communities, and we already had those connections. And then just hosting a Zoom, it was started on Friday night, and so it's Monday now, and we've had, so we've been doing a lot of legwork to try and make this happen. And it's actually been very uplifting and inspiring, having all of this Talanoa and connections being built within the community as well. So I guess as much as it was a very last minute organization, it just showed the power of the youth and showed the power of the organizers and the connections that we had in our community.
Awesome. And with, the leadership and the guidance of our God, surely it will be surely it will be a very successful event. Now, Scopa events on Saturday, they had a target. They wanted to achieve or reach 200 vaccinations. And by the end of the day, they managed to vaccinate 425. Now, do we have a target, or how many are you hoping to get jabbed on Wednesday?
Yep, so we do have a target. Because this was a very last minute mobilization of our groups, we've just set the bar at a standard vaccination target of just 100 people. And in terms of time, we set it up so that it will be running from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. so that we can maybe catch some after school traffic, so that, if you're going to pick up your kids or you're coming back, you can just pop in and you can get your whole Ainga vaccinated.
Awesome. Bronson, what would you like to say to our Pacific youth community, for those who are not vaccinated and for those who have had their first dose? Would you like to say something to your brothers and sisters, Bronson?
Yeah, I think I touched on it a little bit earlier on in the interview, when I just encourage everyone to kind of see the bigger picture for getting vaccinated, where it's the faster we get vaccinated, the faster we can move back into a normal way of life, and especially going over to visit our families overseas. I know it's been a real long while since we've been able to physically connect with our families and friends overseas. So I know everyone's dying to fly, but we can't do that until our number in cases go down, and we're able to actually manage the virus. And we can only manage that by way of getting vaccinated. So to all of our brothers and sisters in the community who are still on the fence, that's something to take into account.
What would you like to add?
Yes, just reiterating what Bronson said, that we've targeted a lot of our peoples, and a lot of them have showed up for our community already. I think we've reached 90% of first vaccinated Pacific peoples in counties Manukau, and that was the lagging DHB. Now we've reached that target. So we've got the majority of our people who've got their first dose, but I'm reaching out to people who have got their vaccine, who have already been vaccinated, to be the advocates in their family, be the advocates in their social groups, in your sports groups. You've been vaccinated. Share with your friends who might be hesitant, or your family members who might be hesitant, your own experience, because that's what we can connect with, is the people around us and our own personal talanoas with each other. So, as much as I can come here and be like, come get vaccinated, you will obviously connect with somebody So I'm just reaching out to all of our friends and family and all of our tupulanga. Share with your friends your experience getting vaccinated, and it might ease them and help them make that choice for themselves.
No doubt our Pasefika Youth United will turn Mouta Samoa on Wednesday into a rugby stadium. I cannot wait to see all those different Pacific flags, being waved on the street of Mangere, and encouraging our young ones to go and get vaccinated. Now, would you like to just remind our viewers and listeners of more details of the venue, opening hours, Matalaoa and Bronson?
Yep. So we'll be live this Wednesday, the 10th of November at the Mouta Samoa. And that will be from 10 a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So even if you want to get vaccinated, or you want your child to get vaccinated over 12, after school, there's still that time frame to get it done.
Thank you so much. Matalaoa and Bronson of Pacific Youth United events this Wednesday. Make sure you take your family and your whānau, take your schools, take your Sunday schools, take your youth groups to get vaccinated at Mouta Samoa in Mangere this Wednesday. Thank you so much, guys. All the best and God bless.
Whakatai lava. Pasefika.
Pasefika. Matalaoa and Bronson of Pacific Youth United drive-through and walk-in vaccination events happening at Mouta Samoa on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure, if you haven't been vaccinated, they want to see you. They want you to come, and if you have any questions, doctors and nurses will be on site. You're free, feel free to have a talanoa with them. Don't forget, there will be incentives, there will be food parcels or vouchers. And if you're a fan of TikTok, come down. Come down. The Blue TV team will be there. We're going to do some TikTok, we're going to smash those moves in a Pacific style, and the Tongans will be there. So the Samoans will not back down. There's going to be a battle, sort of like a competition. I'll make sure there will be a TikTok competition there as well. On Wednesday, I will see you there. I'll be right back after this break, and I'll bring you COVID updates, right after this break. Massive Pacific greetings and welcome back to the second part of the Pacific Health Talanoa with Lorenzo on Blue TV. The 8th of November 2021, COVID-19 update. There's 119 new cases in the community today. 182 in Auckland, 1 in Northland, and 7 in the Waikato. And that is why the Pacific Youth United is rallying together to get everybody vaccinated, so that if you do catch COVID-19, you'll be less likely to be more affected, or but so not kōrei, to be very honest. Tele tangata lo mauar ko vitis fuluiva. I don't know what else to say. We have been saying words of encouragement. We've designed and organized, initiated, coordinated all the drive-through vaccination events. We really need to reach 90% full vaccination rate in order for us to get back to the normal, to either green or orange on the traffic lights new system, the framework system, or level 1. We all want to spend a holiday season, with our loved ones. We want to be able to travel out of Auckland. We want to get back to normal. We want to take our kids out, and have fun and without worrying about COVID-19. So we need to do our part. I've done mine. The question is, you need to do yours. Pacific, we need to all rally together. There's a lot of community events happening this week. Starting from tomorrow, there's Vax vans in Otara. And then Wednesday, the BYU, Pasefika Youth United event. And then there's another couple of youth events in Takanini and Manurewa. And then a big one on the weekend, MVP, Mega Vax Pacific drive-through vaccination event at Mount Smart Stadium. But if you have a chance to go to one of these events, leading up to that big one on a weekend, go, do so. You're doing your part, you're doing yourself a massive favor, as well as your family. You need to protect yourself and protect your families as well. I feel safe. To be very honest, I feel 110% sure that we are protected from COVID-19 because I'm fully vaccinated, my wife is fully vaccinated, and we did it to protect our kids, our babies, as well as our families, my colleagues at work, my friends, our whānau. But that's our show for today. Thank you so much, family. Thank you, whānau, for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow with more updates about COVID-19. But don't forget, Wednesday, I'll see you at the Mota Samoa in Mangere, please. 141 Beta Drive. Come down, get vaccinated, or come down and say hello. I'll see you there.